My father-in-law is a luthier, which basically means a maker of stringed instruments. And he like takes these trips out to Alaska and rescues fallen logs that are left over from logging companies. And it's crazy. He brings these things home like chunks of wood, and then he fashions and forms and makes guitars, mandolins, ukuleles. And what's so cool is the work that he goes through to make these things. It's years in the process, right? Of cutting and sanding and shaping and just forming these things to become a beautiful instrument. And I think ultimately that's a lot of what the series has been. It's been about the things that God uses to form us. Things like prayer, Bible study, Bible reading, other believers pouring into our lives, us pouring out into other people's lives. Those are the tools that God uses to form us. Now what's cool is like a guitar maker, they don't just form this instrument to set it on a shelf. They do it for a purpose, that one day it'll make beautiful music. And the same is with God. He doesn't shape us just to set us on the shelf, but he desires to use us for a purpose. And each of our purposes are as unique as a hand-shaped instrument. There are no two alike. And each of the forms will generate a different sound. And I think personally, sometimes we can look at other people's lives and see how God has shaped them and maybe wish that we were like them, that we were the preacher, that we were the famous one, or that we had a specific audience. But to trust that God is forming you for the purpose for which He has. And I think what actually gets me so pumped about this whole thing is not only is God the maker, He's also the musician. He's not only the one in the woodworker thing, like who shapes the instrument, He's the one who plays the music through the instrument. And that's the reality of the Christian life. You aren't going to form yourself, but through these things of prayer and Bible study and being around, you present yourself to God, allow Him to form you, and then He does that for a purpose, that He might play His song through you. And for me, this gives me just rest and peace to know that I'm not the one who has to create the music. I'm not the one who has to play the song. It's up to me to just rest in God and allow Him to create His song through me. 1 Thessalonians 5:24 says, "The one who calls you is faithful, and He will do it." I love that. This changes everything because it's not about me then performing for God, but allowing Him to do the performance through me. And that's what He longs to do. So then my life, your life, it's not limited to our own potential, our own gifts, our own wisdom, our own strength. But truly, as we allow God to do that work through us, our potential is as great as the potential of God through us. So let God form you, and then allow Him to work through you.